Imagine you're about to close a $2 billion deal. The ink is practically dry. The press releases are written, and then the other side's government steps in and says, actually, we have some conditions. What do? If you're Meta, apparently, you walk. That's exactly what's unfolding right now with Meta's reported decision to unwind its blockbuster acquisition of Manus, the autonomous AI agent that took the internet by storm earlier this year. $2 billion. On the table. Gone. And the reason why tells us something massive about the future of artificial intelligence and who actually gets to control it. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what Manus is and why Meta wanted it so badly, what Beijing's reported demands actually were, why this deal falling apart matters not just for Meta, but for the entire AI industry, from OpenAI to Google to Apple, and what this signals about the coming battle for AI sovereignty. This isn't just a business story, it's a geopolitical chess match, and artificial intelligence is the queen on the board. So, who is Manus? If you haven't heard of it, let me paint the picture fast. In early 2025, a Chinese AI startup called Butterfly Effect launched Manus, and it became the most talked about AI agent on the planet almost overnight. Think of it less like ChatGPT, which is great at answering your questions, and more like a digital employee. Manus doesn't just respond to prompts. It browses the web, writes code, books travel, manages files, and executes multi-step tasks completely on its own. Where ChatGPT hands you a recipe, Manus goes to the grocery store, cooks the meal, and sets the table. It was a genuinely different category of AI. The waitlist hit tens of thousands of users within days of launch. The AI world collectively stopped and said, okay, this is something new. And Meta noticed. Here's what's interesting. Meta has been on an absolute tear with artificial intelligence. Their open-source Llama models have been downloaded hundreds of millions of times. Mark Zuckerberg has been public and aggressive about Meta's AI ambitions, calling 2025 the year AI agents go mainstream. Acquiring Manus would have been a rocket booster. It would have given Meta a best-in-class autonomous agent to sit on top of Llama, to integrate into WhatsApp, Instagram, and the Meta AI assistant that's already rolling out across their platforms. $2 billion for that? In the context of Meta's scale, that's a bargain. Meta reportedly moved fast and a deal framework was taking shape. Then Beijing stepped in. According to reports, Chinese authorities raised concerns about the acquisition and reportedly put forward conditions that would have given the Chinese government meaningful oversight or influence over Manus's technology and data, even after it became part of Meta. Now, think about what that actually means. Imagine buying a car, but the previous owner insists on keeping a spare key. That's not a sale, that's a lease with strings attached. For Meta, a company that operates under intense scrutiny from US regulators and Congress already, accepting any kind of Chinese government entanglement in a core AI product would have been essentially impossible. The legal exposure alone would be extraordinary. The political fallout, even worse. Here's what's interesting about the broader context. This isn't happening in a vacuum. We're living through a period of intensifying AI nationalism. The US has been tightening chip export controls to China, restricting sales of NVIDIA's most powerful GPUs. China has been building its own AI ecosystem, from DeepSeek's surprisingly capable models to Manus's agent-based approach, and simultaneously making it harder for its most promising companies to simply be absorbed by American tech giants. What's emerging is a kind of AI iron curtain. Not fully drawn yet, but the outlines are becoming clearer by the month. And this is where it gets really consequential for the rest of the industry. OpenAI, Google, and Apple are all racing to build autonomous AI agents. OpenAI launched Operator earlier this year, their own attempt at web browsing, task-executing AI. Google has been integrating agentic capabilities into Gemini. Apple, characteristically quiet, is building deeper AI hooks into iOS 18 and beyond. Every one of these companies understands that the next phase of AI isn't about chatbots, it's about agents that act. Manus was, for one shining moment, the most impressive demonstration of that future, and now it's stuck in geopolitical amber. For Meta specifically, this creates a real strategic gap. They have the model infrastructure, they have the distribution, 3 billion users across their apps. What they don't yet have is a flagship autonomous agent that can go toe-to-toe with OpenAI's Operator or Google's Gemini agents in a live demonstration. They'll have to build it. That takes time. And in artificial intelligence right now, time is the one resource nobody has enough of. The question isn't whether Meta builds a great AI agent. They will. The question is whether the window of competitive advantage they could have bought with Manus stays open long enough. Zoom out even further and the story gets even more interesting. Manus itself, Butterfly Effect, the startup behind it, now faces its own uncertain future. A $2 billion exit would have been transformational. Without it, they're back to fundraising in a market where Chinese AI startups face increasing headwinds accessing Western capital. And the technology they built, genuinely impressive, genuinely novel, sits at the center of a tug-of-war that no startup should ever have to navigate. The takeaway here is this. Artificial intelligence is no longer just a technology race. It is a sovereignty race. The country that controls the most capable AI agents, the ones that can autonomously act in the world, not just answer questions, will hold extraordinary leverage economically and strategically. And the deals that get blocked, the acquisitions that fall apart, the conditions that get imposed, those aren't just business decisions. They're moves on a board where the stakes are much, much higher than $2 billion. If you found this breakdown useful, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who care about where technology is actually headed. Subscribe to Axe and Wire for weekly deep dives on AI, tech, geopolitics, and the stories behind the headlines. And check the description, I've linked the key reports and sources I referenced today so you can dig in yourself. I'll see you in the next one.